All right.
Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome back to our men in training mentorship session. My name is Craig. I am your recovery coach here at Capital Recovery Center, and as always, it's a pleasure to be before you.
And I'm Carl, I'm a recovery coach also.
All right. And so today, as you can see, scrolling across the screen, we're going to be talking about how the values of recovery can transform the way you lead.
Mm-hmm.
So in mentoring ship, we like to discuss leadership, role models, and how to be the best person that you can be while in recovery. And so this article is brought to you by recovery.org. If you want to learn more about what they have in store, you can log on to that. And so without further ado, I don't know, you got something else you want to say?
Now, if you want to start, I'll start it off.
Doesn't matter.
All right, how the values of recovery can transform the way you lead. There are many similarities between leadership and recovery. And while it may not be reported in business magazines or notable publications, yet there are synergies that people in recovery, out of recovery, can learn from. Recovery transforms the past experience of addiction, often bringing to life new skills, gifts, competencies in a person. This is an existing process, but it's just important to balance the principles of recovery along the way. According to Sashma, the working definition of recovery is a process of a challenge through which individuals improve their health and wellness, live a self-directed life, and strive to reach their full potential. And there are 10 principles of recovery. Recovery emerges from hope. Recovery is a person-driven. Recovery occurs via many pathways. Recovery is holistic. Recovery is supported by peers and allies. Recovery is supported through relationship and social networks. Recovery is culturally based and influenced. Recovery is supported by addressing trauma. Recovery involves individual, family, community strengths, and responsibility. And recovery is based on respect.
Those are some good 10 principles of recovery. All right. And so we want to share this material. We don't want to rush it through it. We want to give you some pointers. I want to give you some things that you can utilize as being role models, being leaders, taking the responsibilities as people, whether it's personal or professional. All right, and so we got today.
Yeah.
We got Emmanuel. He's here with us. He graced us with his present for our men in training mentorship support group. And so, like we were talking earlier, we just want to give you some pointers of what it means to be stand-up men in our personal lives as well as in our professional lives. It's so important because I'm just elaborating a little bit because I know that a lot of young people they look up to the older generation, whether it be their parent, their father, their uncle, grandfather, or those in the community. And so it's very important that we set an example, a good example for those in our community. And so, especially with a lot of things that are going on in the schools, a lot of things that's going on in the home and in the community. So we want to change that trajectory by letting younger people see that there are leaders in the community, there are role models in the community, there are people like us who've been through it, but also represent a positive light as mentors.
I agree.
All right.
And talk about on respect. Usually you give respect, you get respect. You know what I mean? You try to live by example. basically where you treat people with respect, and you have boundaries, you treat one another fair.
Yep.
There's things, just being a decent human being, and showing people the way where you came from and where you're going today.
Absolutely, because we're not perfect by far. I am not perfect by far, but the reason why we're talking about mentorship and leadership and role models is that to help somebody not go down the same path that I went down. And so that is the whole focus of it, is to steer somebody in the right direction. Because if we can say something or share something or give you some hope, so that you don't have to experience some of the pitfalls that I have experienced, whether it's whatever, the drug addiction or through the criminal lifestyle, previous live, I'm all for helping someone to take another route to get to where you need to be in life.
You learn from more mistakes. You don't have to make yours. You can learn from ours.
Yeah. So where we at? As I work in the addiction recovery industry?
Yep. I finished that off.
Okay.
As I've worked in the addiction recovery industry, I've seen these principles in action, and as I've similarly
Simultaneously
worked in business, I've seen these principles needed. If you have a mentor, you may learn these lessons through coaching over time, but it's time to call out the many benefits, embracing the relevance of recovery and leadership.
All right. And so the next part we want to touch on is the intersection of wisdom and encouragement. And so it says, the article says, merging the principles of recovery with the art of leadership can lead to a unique intersection of wisdom and encouragement that can lead to greater success in business. Here is a list of principles that merge the best of recovery and leadership. Once again, we're talking about how to be good leaders in our personal lives and also in a professional life. No matter where you work at, you still have to be a professional. All right. And so it says, have a vision. According to Samuel Hope Catalyst Recovery, similarly, as a leader, entrepreneur, or professional, you need to have vision to ground you in your work. Having hope and vision will keep you pressing forward. Let me read that again. Having hope and vision will keep you pressing forward, especially on hard days. You'll need to remember to take it one day at a time in business and in life, but having a general framework of hope for the future will make you a more effective and inspirational leader. All right. And so, in general, it says for the future, it will give you some hope to be an effective and inspirational leader. You'll know where you're headed, and your people will be able to follow you toward that vision. And so, my pastor, he always says, if you are in leadership and there's no one following you as a leader, then you're just only taking a walk. You're just only going for a walk. If you're in a leadership position and there is no one following you, then you're just only going for a walk. So I got that from my pastor, Pastor Albert Morgan, the mailman. So I want to give you a shout out on the air. All right. And so Emmanuel E, you feel like read one of those bullets? I'll read. We'll take turns read each bullet.
Okay. Focus on and empower your people. A person-focused approach is central to recovery, especially regarding the principle of caring for others. While it may feel necessary to think about yourself first, great leaders think about the team. This is a key to principle of leadership, but should already come naturally from recovery. Serving and giving back to others is what keeps leaders growing and keeps your recovery at a healthy pulse. You can learn from those who have gone before you and those coming after you. By investing in the lives of others, you're putting recovery in action and respecting those around you.
All right. And so we got somebody on the live. We got Paul. Good afternoon, Paul. Glad you can join us. If you would like, you can unmute yourself. And so as you can see, Paul, we are talking about how the values of recovery can transform the way you lead. This is a mentorship program. Welcome. How you doing? I am Craig. Paul, how are you? I can hear you. Right. It seems like you're having a little difficulty.
Can you guys hear me at all?
Yes, yes, sir. Good afternoon. Welcome to.
I'm gonna walk to the truck to try to put you on speakerphone. To speaker because I can barely hear you with the phone.
Okay, cool.
All right, Paul.
All right, and so we're gonna continue on while you're going to the truck.
Okay, cool. Apologize.
No problem, man. So, Carl, you want to read the next bullet?
Yeah, leverage mentorship and learn from others. As you invest in your people, remember to invest in yourself through mentorship and a commitment to learning. You'll never learn it all in recovery, and you'll never know it. And all in business, mentoring others is the key element of being a great leader. And someone with mature recovery, but it goes both ways. Remember, mentorship and sponsorship are never obsolete. The best professionals have a great mentor, said by many successful people in both recovery and leadership. We stand on the shoulders of giants. Whose shoulders are you standing on? Who are you learning from? Who is mentoring you? Stay humble and committed to learning and urge others to do the same.
All right. So we are standing on the shoulders of giants. And so there was someone who came before us, who taught us the rope. And so now we're giving back and sharing our strength and hope as well. And so, Paul, yes, we're reading from this article. You don't have it, but this you can chime in, join, share anytime you feel like. But right now we're on the part where it says embrace community and diversity. All right, it said the recovery community is richly diverse. This same standard of diversity should permeate your business and leadership. Surround yourself with people who come from diverse backgrounds. So those people who doesn't look like you, walk like you, talk like you, or come from a different background. That's the meaning of diverse. All right, and people with different skill set. It says, and especially those who have diverse opinions. In the 12 traditions of Alcoholics Anonymous, this is said best as principle before personalities. All right? It's best said in 12-step principles before personalities. You may not agree with everyone you work with or everyone who works for you. Embrace the differences in your communication styles, perspectives, and decisions. Remember, you're working toward the same mission. Keep your business mission at the center and let the differences keep you aware, open-minded, and flexible. All right? And so this applies, once again, not only in your personal lifestyle, but this applies also in your professional. Paul, we're talking about, this is a mentoring support group, and so we're sharing and we're reading information that deals with how to be good leaders. All right. And so, can you hear me? Okay, cool.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. I just didn't want you to feel not a part of the group, or if you felt that you didn't understand where we at in the conversation. I just want to bring you up to speed what we're talking about. Okay.
I appreciate it. Thank you.
All right, and so we're taking turns reading right now, and so I'm going to ask Emmanuel, who we call E, if he feel like reading the next bullet.
Stay humble and commit to growth. In recovery, you're never finished. Your journey is always moving forward. You're always growing, and there's always more to learn. The same is true in leadership. making an international commitment to growing your leadership and to helping others do the same by understanding where your weaknesses are, admitting them, and committing yourself to a career of growth. Just like in recovery, you will become an inspirational leader to those you lead. Humble leaders make great learners, and people who learn are richly equipped to grow and inspire others. Leverage this principle of recovery in the way you lead your people. There will be they will be better for it, and so will you.
Mhm. And so we are on the last part of this of this article. And so if you want to, Paul, you can always go to the website. It's called recovery.org, and you can pull up the whole article, and at your leisure, you can go back over the material, or you can watch the video. So we're gonna finish it off with Carl.
All right, let your recovery empower you. Said best by Douglas MacArthur. Thank you. A true leader has the confidence to stand alone, the courage to make tough decisions, and the compassion to listen to the needs of others. He does not set out to be a leader, but becomes one by the quality of his actions and the integrity of his intent. Having integrity or intent, recovery can empower you to live your best life personally and professionally. Embrace the values that are essential to staying sober and thriving in recovery. And those same principles can radically transform the way you live and lead.
Wow. And that quote came from no other than Douglas MacArthur. And so that's one of the greats. And so he said, and that from his quote is that he does not set out to be a leader, but becomes one by the equality of his actions and the integrity of his intent. And so I'm often reminded when that word integrity comes up. Do anyone know what integrity means?
I have an idea.
Good. Give me. Let's talk about
I have a strong feeling for something. I guess you want to say, you're staying alone on something.
Okay. Pretty good. You want to give a shout out to E? What about you, Paul? The word integrity.
Integrity, like, you can look yourself in the mirror. You're just honest about things. You just, people respect you. You're not fooling anybody. That kind of thing.
Absolutely. And all of that stuff incorporated into what everyone said is that doing the right thing, even when someone is not present, always being at your best, being honest, loyal, and being available. So integrity stands for, no matter if we're in a professional setting and the supervisor asks us to close the office. And so they're relying upon us to take a role of leadership or responsibility to close the office up, even when they're not there. Mm-hmm. So you become somewhat what they call a sub-supervisor. And so now you take it on the leadership role with integrity. So when they come back the next morning, guess what? Everything is intact, just like when we left.
People in trust. Yeah, trust. And,
you in charge. That's right. And so that's what we want to illustrate and represent in our personal life and our professional life, integrity. All right. And so thanks again, Paul. Hey, remember, this group starts every Thursday at 3:00. You're more than welcome. We have some more support groups that we do. And so we'd love to have you and we discuss some more material. All right?
Thanks for joining.
I appreciate it. Sorry, I was late.
That's all right, man. And so welcome again. And so we'll see you on the next one, okay?
All right, Paul.
Thank you very much.
All right, take care, man. All right, you too.
Yeah, definitely. I got one in the car. I said,
Yeah.